Have you ever wondered why you can go an entire day without thinking about them? But the second it hits 2 in the morning, they're all you can think about. Why is it that in the daylight, you're fine, you're moved on, you're living your life, but at night, alone with your phone, you're suddenly scrolling through their Instagram like you're looking for evidence in a crime scene? You're zooming into the background of photos, you're analyzing captions, you're checking who liked what, you're creating entire narratives in your head based on a single emoji they used. And here's the strangest part. You know it doesn't help. You know you'll feel worse after. You've done this enough times to predict exactly how empty you'll feel when you finally put the phone down. So why do you keep doing it? Why does 2 in the morning turn you into a detective investigating a life that's no longer yours? Here's the thing nobody talks about. This isn't pathetic. It's not desperate. It's not even that weird. It's actually one of the most common nighttime rituals humans have in the digital age. You're not broken. You're not obsessed. You're just awake when your defenses are down, and your brain is trying to solve a puzzle it never got to finish. During the day, you're busy. Your prefrontal cortex is running the show. That's the part of your brain that makes reasonable decisions, keeps you focused, stops you from texting things you'll regret. But at 2 in the morning, that part of your brain is offline. It's tired. It's dim. What takes over is your limbic system, the emotional brain, the part that doesn't care about logic or dignity or moving on. It just wants answers. It wants closure. It wants to know if you're being thought about the way you're thinking about them. And here's the kicker. Your brain treats unfinished relationships like open files on a computer. They drain energy in the background. They never fully close. So scrolling through their life, that's your brain trying to manually close the file, trying to gather enough information to feel complete, to feel like you understand what happened, to feel like the story has an ending. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik Effect. It's the brain's tendency to remember unfinished or interrupted tasks better than completed ones. Your ex isn't just a person you used to know, they're an unfinished story, and your mind hates that. There's also something called intermittent reinforcement at play. You're searching for clues, a new post, a changed bio, a photo without you in the background. Each scroll is like pulling a slot machine lever. You don't know what you'll find, but the possibility keeps you going. And at night, when your self-control is low and your emotional brain is loud, that pull gets stronger. But here's what most people miss. This isn't just about them. It's about control. When a relationship ends, especially if you didn't want it to, you lose control over a huge part of your life. You don't get to know what they're doing, who they're with, if they're okay, if they miss you. Stalking their profile at 2 in the morning, that's you trying to take some of that control back. You're gathering intel, you're staying informed, you're keeping yourself in the loop of a life you're no longer part of. It makes you feel less powerless, even if it's just for a few minutes. And weirdly, there's a hidden benefit here. This behavior, as painful as it is, means you're processing. You're not in denial. You're not pretending they don't exist. You're actively engaging with the reality that they're out there, living a life that doesn't include you anymore. That's painful, but it's also progress. Some people shut down completely after a breakup. They block, they delete, they avoid, and sometimes that works, but sometimes it just delays the grief. You're facing it, in the quiet, in the dark, on your own terms. But here's where it gets tricky. There's a difference between processing and spiraling. If you're checking once in a while, feeling something, and then moving on with your night, that's probably healthy curiosity. That's your brain trying to make sense of things. But if you're doing this every single night, if it's affecting your sleep, if you're comparing yourself to everyone in their photos, if you feel worse every time but can't stop, that's not processing anymore. That's a loop. And loops don't heal you. They just keep you stuck. So here's the question. When you close that app at 2:30 in the morning, how do you feel? Do you feel a little lighter, like you got something out of your system? Or do you feel heavier, like you just poured salt in a wound that was starting to close? If you recognized yourself in this video, you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're just human. What you're doing has a name. It's called digital closure seeking. And it's one of the most natural responses to loss in the age of social media. You're not stalking. You're searching. Searching for proof that you mattered, that it was real, that maybe somewhere in their grid there's still a trace of you. If this felt familiar, subscribe, because we're going to keep talking about the things you do at night when no one's watching. Next video, we're diving into the psychology of people who delete their posts in the morning. You know who you are. See you at midnight.